Exploding hoverboards, VR in your pocket, and the most hated man on the internet goes to jail. Tech News Tonight is next.
This is Twit.
This is Tech News Tonight, episode 479 for Thursday, December 3rd, 2015. This episode is brought to you by Epson's new EcoTank printers. With Epson's new line of SuperTank all-in-one printers, you can print thousands of documents without running out of ink. EcoTank is loaded and ready to print when you are. Visit epson.com/ecotank to find out more. Welcome, I am Megan Maroney. Let's get to the tech news. You know what could really ruin a kid's Christmas? An exploding hoverboard. It can also generate lots of web traffic with headlines like that. But according to several non-link baity sources, the UK government has confiscated 15,000 hoverboards. In case you need a refresher course on this, toy hoverboards are our new name for those electric scooters without handles that are the Cabbage Patch Kid of the 2015 holiday season. Many brands of these self-balancing scooters have been deemed unsafe and potential fire hazards. According to the BBC, at least 3 house fires were caused by self-balancing scooters over just 10 days in October. Some of the devices have plugs without fuses, faulty cables or chargers that can burst into flames, according to trading standards. The device that has caused fires are thought to have come from East Asia and China and have been purchased both online and in stores. The scooters are also illegal in New York City because the DMV says they're not considered motor vehicles, so they cannot be registered. These days, you can't swing a dead micro USB cable without hitting a virtual reality device. There's Microsoft's upcoming HoloLens, Samsung's Gear VR, Facebook's Oculus, and of course, the super affordable Google Cardboard. But so far, most of these devices focus on gaming or Netflix or immersing yourself in someone else's reality. But what if you could use VR to immerse yourself in your own photographs? That is the idea behind the Google Cardboard Camera, a smartphone app that takes 3D VR photos that let you look around to see the scene that you just photographed in every direction. The photos are still not moving like some more high-tech VR. To view them, you will need Google Cardboard. You've probably seen Leo take these kinds of photos with his Ricoh Theta, but today Google launched an app that will let you do this with any Android phone. The Cardboard Camera app works similarly to the panorama feature in most smartphone cameras. The app is free, and why not? Now Google will have millions of us creating content designed to be viewed with Google Cardboard. 2.5 years in prison, that is the sentence for revenge porn website evil mastermind Hunter Moore. Moore has often been called the most hated man on the internet, and his website, called Is Anyone Up?, is now down. There is still family unfriendly content there, so go there at your own risk. Originally, Moore's site was a clearinghouse for nude or compromising photos that people had willingly posed for, but which angry ex-partners then shared for revenge, sometimes including names and contact information of their exes. In addition to his prison sentence, Moore will also pay a $2,000 fine, not necessarily for running the site or for posting the photos submitted by users, but for computer hacking, since, according to a story in Motherboard, many of the photographs were not ever shared willingly by the subject, but instead were obtained by breaking into personal email accounts. Moore's plea agreement also says he must notify his probation officer every time he uses a computer-related device, a screen name, a password, an email account, or an ISP during his supervised release. HTTP now has a sequel. Let's hope it's better than the sequel to The Matrix, which I think we can all agree was horrible. Let's also hope that it is better and faster than HTTP1. Russell Brandom over at The Verge says that the content distribution network Cloudflare launched HTTP2 today as the default to all the company's customers. The first result of this launch will be that lots of web pages will load faster, but not all of them. The deployment started quietly last week, but now includes 3 out of 4 sites on the Alexa Top Million. That's only a very small percentage of the entire web right now, but it does include Google, Facebook, and YouTube. Coming up, we will talk to Jennifer Booton from MarketWatch about the dismal future of one of the world's first internet companies. But first, this episode is brought to you by Epson. Epson's revolutionary EcoTank line of printers for home and office introduce a new age in printing. The new EcoTank ET4550 wireless all-in-one printer doesn't use ink cartridges. Instead, it features an innovative refillable ink tank. It comes with enough ink to print up to 8,500 pages, equivalent to about 50 ink cartridge sets. You're loaded and ready to print for up to 2 years. Powered by Epson's leading-edge precision core technology, it delivers high-speed, vivid colors and laser-quality black text. plus auto two-sided printing, a 30-page auto document feeder, and easy wireless printing from tablets and from smartphones. All EcoTank printers deliver an unbeatable combination of convenience and value with ultra-low-cost replacement ink bottles. Now you have the freedom to print without running out of ink. Visit Epson.com/EcoTank today to transform the way your home, your office, or your work group prints. For the best combination of ease and value, turn to the new Epson EcoTank printers. That's EPSON.com/EcoTank. And we thank Epson for their support. Last night, we told you that an eclectic list of companies had shown interest in buying Yahoo's core internet business. Now that the company has officially put out a call for help, joining us to talk about who might be interested in Yahoo and why is Jennifer Booton, reporter at MarketWatch. Welcome, Jennifer.
Thanks. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for coming on. So yesterday, the Wall Street Journal reported that in addition to private equity firms, other Yahoo suitors included SoftBank. They own Sprint, Barry Diller's IAC. They own Tinder and Match and Verizon. Tell us what you know about Verizon's interest in Yahoo.
Yeah, so Verizon might be interested in Yahoo similar to the way that it was interested in AOL earlier this year. If you remember, it bought AOL for $4.4 billion, and that's still something that it's integrating within its business. But on its most recent earnings call last quarter, it did say it contributed 2 points to its revenue, which revenue only grew 5% last quarter. So that's a pretty significant chunk as that company works to really expand its advertising ecosystem, and it wants to get real-time data on people. And this is something that Yahoo also could provide, it similar to the way that that AOL does.
So what parts exactly of the business is Yahoo selling? Do we know that?
We don't exactly know, but it would be its core business. So analysts and what the Wall Street Journal reported would be all of its main internet assets. That would include its messenger apps, for example, its Gmail service. Its email services, its Tumblr, all of those kinds of core Yahoo internet properties that are powered right now by a lot of significant advertising tools.
So Flickr too, is that another one?
Flickr, yep. Flickr would also be a part of that.
So which part exactly? So Verizon is interested in that part of Yahoo.
Oh, correct. I think that all of the telecom companies or the media companies that a lot of analysts are saying might be interested in Yahoo would be interested in those assets, because at this point, that is a key component to what a lot of these companies need. They need that power with the advertising and that data to be ahead of everybody in terms of their competitors, in terms of just media content on the internet and how they're going to make money.
So there were some headlines yesterday also that implied that this also means that Marissa Mayer is out as the CEO. But Kara Swisher said that these were sort of exaggerated rumors. Do you know anything about this side of the story? Do you know if that's just a rumor that she would be out if there was this kind of sale?
I think everybody's quick to jump on criticizing her and to say that she needs to go. And that's kind of the default argument that everyone goes to. But you have to keep in mind, she's their fourth CEO in just a few years, and nobody has really succeeded in turning this company around. It's not necessarily the smartest idea to just out her right away or have her leave. She's familiar with the business. She's been there a while. They have tried to innovate and they've struggled. But I think that that would be up to the company in terms of keeping her as an asset. But she does have significant, she was with Google for a while, high up there as an executive. So she does offer a pretty good edge in terms of keeping her around. And if people are saying it's exaggerated, analysts are also starting to say it's exaggerated, and that right now the sale is more important in keeping her on because she knows the business rather than trying to do a sale and bring someone on and learn the business all over again.
So you write that Yahoo has a market cap of $31.8 billion. Now that sounds pretty good. But what does that really mean, especially in terms of their stake in Alibaba and other holdings?
Right. So a vast majority of that is related to their holdings in Alibaba and properties in Japan. And as we all know, the company has expressed interest in spinning off that portion of the business, the Alibaba portion. They want to sell their stake. And I think that if you kind of shave that out, analysts, for example, Bob Peck from SunTrust, who's always very outspoken on this. He said that if the proceeds for this company could be around $6 to $8 billion, which is actually kind of small if you think about Microsoft offered to buy this company for $45 billion in 2008. And he was saying that that's probably about what its assets are valued at. And then you had another analyst coming and saying, hold on. Actually, if you just take their core assets, it's closer to around $2 billion. So there's a couple mixed thoughts on that. Some say maybe around $4 billion. But the point of that is that right now their core business is not doing too well. Revenue fell 8% last quarter. They're just not doing too well. The stock has a high PE ratio, which means that it's considered to be slightly overvalued. And they don't have the assets to really back that up with their Japanese stake, and Chinese stake, which they are already talking about, have been wanting to spin off for a long time.
Well, today, Yahoo, meanwhile, launched a new version of its Messenger app. It integrates features from Flickr and Tumblr. What are some of the new features of the app?
I think what I like about it is it allows you to upload hundreds of photos at once, which I think is kind of unique. And you can share those with it's aimed to be a group text, a group messenger, which I know there's a million out there already, and people were very quick today to jump on the company. And I've also been critical of their attempts to launch new messaging services, including their silent messaging app, Live Text, a few months ago. That it's a tough market to get into. But I think it's neat that you can upload hundreds of photos at once and just kind of store them in the Yahoo Cloud and only download them when you need to. And you can pretty much download the full quality. I think that's pretty neat. And it also has a social network-like feature, which allows you to like or comment on a lot of people's posts, which we've seen in other, that's not entirely innovative. We've also seen that in other messaging apps, but better than nothing.
Right. It does feel a little bit like rearranging deck chairs on the Titanic at this point. But it's interesting because I remember a day when AOL Messenger and Yahoo Messenger, back in my day, they were what was big. They were the only thing. And it would be interesting if Verizon was now the company that bought both AOL and Yahoo.
That is a good point. Maybe it would rise up as this different kind of messaging powerhouse. But I also think that there's so many messaging apps on the market right now. People are already intertwined with whatever they use. I know I use GroupMe pretty regularly, and I also use WhatsApp. And I did try live text when it launched earlier this year, but didn't last very long, me using it. I think the problem is that a lot of people are just ingrained in their current services, and this is one of Yahoo's problems is innovation, and seems like you're trying to chase after something. And yeah, Verizon has both of those. Maybe it can utilize certain assets of those messaging apps. It's the users that are still in it, information from them, but it's a tough market to crack.
Well, Jennifer, thank you so much for joining us. Jennifer Booton is a tech reporter at MarketWatch. You can read all her work. She covers the market side of many different tech topics, and she is at J Booton on Twitter. Thanks for joining us, Jennifer.
Thanks. Have a great day.
You too. Listen up, my Android-using friends. You too now have access to the unicorn emoji. Google Senior Vice President Hiroshi Lockheimer tweeted today that new emoji are coming to Nexus next week. OEMs will get the new emoji to include in their updates, too, when they see fit. Lockheimer also used the lion and the crab emoji, which are part of Unicode 8. You know what that means. Cheese wedge, nerd face, and the middle finger emoji. But just because you have it doesn't mean you have to use it. That is it for this edition of Tech News Tonight. We are on Facebook. You can like us and get links to the show and some of the stories that we talk about that I post throughout the day. And if you want to be part of the conversation, post a comment on the stories, and we will read the best ones right here. You can also subscribe to this show at twit.tv/TN2. Write to us at TN2 and watch live every weekday at 4 p.m. Pacific. And don't miss our morning news program, Tech News Today, every weekday at 10 a.m. Pacific, 1 p.m. Eastern. I am Megan Maroney. Thanks for watching.
Bandwidth for Tech News Tonight is brought to you by CashFly.com.